Hey guys, Ripley Gamer here with another Sims 4 build for you guys, and today I'm doing a honeymoon getaway deep in the jungle of Selvadoradan. Now, this is actually going to be used in the Dream House series. This is actually the honeymoon destination that I'm creating for Isabel and Lakey for when they get married. They'll be coming to Selvadoradan for the honeymoon, so I thought I'd design like a perfect little honeymoon destination for them, a cool little house with like a pool and lots of like jungle foliage and stuff all around with very open plan. It is one bedroom. It was going to be two while I was building it, but I thought nah. It was also allowed me to experiment with roofs because I do have a problem with making all my houses too square, which is something I do need to work on. So I was like, okay, let's make like a sort of opening doorway and like a sideway, and then have like two roof bits here, like one quite small one and then like a much bigger one. And like it does change overall, but it does look great in the end, and I was super proud with how it turned out. And one thing I liked about doing this was the fact that I was using a lot of the jungle adventure stuff, which I love. I love a lot of the jungle adventure designs, decor, and furniture that they have in the game. I think it was great because I was like, I wanted to make like a honeymoon destination because the places in jungle adventure, so the Selvadoradan like areas are okay, but I feel like they could be a little bit better. And part of this was I wanted to have like a big pool out back, so I was looking at island destination hotels and stuff and what kind of villas look like. So I kind of had to look at Spanish villas, things in like from Costa Rica, the Polynesian islands. I tried to look there. That was kind of hard to find because a lot of it was like holiday kind of destinations and fancy villas. So we got this beautiful little honeymoon getaway, which is the name of the lot. So I wanted to start off by focusing on the outside and focusing on all the wildlife. So we got like this quite big pool at the back, which kind of curves around the side of the building. And I did also want to have a kind of a fence in like the back garden bit, so you know you didn't just get so it was kind of closed off, so it wasn't like fully open all around. And I also wanted to put like a little pond in, so I started going through the jungle adventure stuff and started making like a little area over here which is just filled with foliage, which also blocks off the end of the pool with rocks. I thought that was actually quite a clever idea, so it keeps like the end, so they always have to go into the back garden to access the pool, and the front of the pool here is actually blocked off by rocks, so you can't get in that way. And it also kind of it also acts like as another kind of fence for the back garden as well, which I quite liked. And I love the jungle plants. These are really cute, like exotic looking plants, and having never been to sort of South American destinations or jungle like places, this is like, I'm assuming they're like quite accurate in detail. But I do love all these sort of like lush greenery and like sort of big tropical plants, and I do put like quite a few plants in. This is one of the places that I use a lot of plants and foliage because I don't use it quite a bit. A lot of my lots tend to all be bare, so this is actually good because I get to experiment with builds and looking to making builds better in one way. And one of them was starting to just put lots of foliage around and try and just sort out this little pathway here. So like it's kind of deserty and sandy, but it covers up the jungle ground. And then I got this cool idea to put a little pool here, so I got I don't put like a trimming around it, but I do use the jungle adventure water. Put some of those water things in from Get Together, so you get bubbles on the surface and lots of lily pads and algae. And I do put a fountain in there as well, which I thought was quite cool. That fountain's pretty good, very jungle aesthetic. And just moving all the algae around, so it kind of breaks up a bit, so it has broken up a bit, and the lily pads are there to sort of cement that, you know, wildlife's kind of moved into this pond. And also getting lots of rocks everywhere, because the rocks are good because they add a lot of decoration to the area, and also it kind of blocks in like sort of the areas. And also more jungle foliage, and I do have BB objects moved on at this point, and I can sort of use a lot of the terrain paint tools and areas to sort of cover it up, make it look very tropical, which I loved. I thought that looked really good. And also I love the terrain like painting now. I never use it, but now I have to use terrain paintings because it sort of makes the ground look a little more used up. And then also got loads more foliage over here, so it really fills in the space, which is what I wanted to do because there was a lot of space in this lot. So of all the space that I wasn't using to build or decorate, I thought I'll just put plants everywhere. That way it makes the place look a little bit better, and sort of fills up the space so it doesn't look all bare and there's lots of extra space on the lot. So using the Jungle Adventure walls and trimming the roofs, they look a bit better. It looks pretty good. It does end up changing quite a bit because I think I had a lot of space for that place and I needed to make it a bit more smaller and cozier. So we end up making this sort of, that was going to be like a small storage area, but it ended up becoming part of the kitchen. So this was just to kind of like put the spandrels in and sort of separate the rooms out a bit, which helped quite a lot. And then also putting some stairs in for the upstairs, so I knew where the upstairs was going to be, and sort of just making a small little ladder there. This took me an hour and a half to do, and I was really pleased by how it turned out in the end. Also, some of the closed shutters and like the back here is all like sort of opened up. I love that there's no windows on these things, so it's a bit better because it's more open. You can sort of feel the breezes coming in. Also using that cool orange on the inside for the kitchen area. One thing I did have trouble with was mostly the walls, because I didn't know what colours to use for the walls, but I do use that gorgeous wooden paneling on the floor. I think that's great. And using all these Jungle Adventure little candle lights. Like, I am using the saucer lights at first, but I do use the candle lights later. And I love the Laundry Day light bulb. That's great, because like there used to be, I think, just a plain light bulb in The Sims 2 in base game, and I think adding the light bulb back was actually a bit better, because not every like house or somewhere or room can have just like all these fancy little lights. Sometimes you just need like a single light bulb floating from the ceiling, which I thought was quite good. Then I do get rid of this wall, because now we're going to make the kitchen. I'm using all like the Selvadoradan stuff. Oh no, I'm not using Selvadorada. Oh no, I am. I was just like, I am. Yeah, and then also got the Selvadoradan like cooker and the fridge, and I thought that looks pretty good. And then just a simple sink over here near the window. Also got to have that smoke alarm, because you don't want people setting the house on fire. And then just putting some little cluster bits around so it looks a little bit lived in, a little bit of like space. So there's more just things like, this is like a honeymoon place, there's like amenities all set up for people to use. And then I started putting all these out on the edges, and I realised that this was actually a perfect thing to use, because I don't use these kind of things. There's like so many decorations in this game that I just don't think about using, and I really should use them a lot more. So that helped, and like sort of, it made the house look a bit better built, personally, in my opinion. And of course using all these like greeneries and like vines hanging everywhere to sort of add to the, it adds to the place, makes it look a little bit better. And then of course took them off there because the balcony is going to be up there, and it's looking pretty nice. And I think there wasn't much else I added in terms of decoration, but I do add the round table, and I think the round table is pretty good. Like, okay, there's a lot of chairs, but I'm assuming it's like you'll have like people visiting. The people visiting, you got friends who'll be staying over like another part of the jungle, so it's like, oh, we'll all meet up and have dinner kind of thing. And of course, plants, gotta have plants. This place needs to have plants and greenery, so it just doesn't look so empty and bare and has life in it. And we've got like these cool little like wooden stairs. I thought that was pretty good. And then going upstairs was going to be a bit tricky because of the amount of space I had to work with. And then making like a little open area here, sort of, because, okay, it rains in the jungle a lot, so I figured there needs to be an umbrella stand in this house, because if you don't have an umbrella, everyone complains about them being like wet and like dripping. So it's like, okay, you need to have an umbrella stand and sort of somewhere for pets to have their collars and stuff all set up, because pets are welcome in this honeymoon place. Because there are people who, like, people will either bring their pets along, or they don't want to leave the pets behind, so they don't want to put them in a kennel, essentially, or have someone like come and check in on their cats, essentially. So it's like, you can bring your pets to the jungle. They get to live in the house, and you know, there's lots of stuff for them to play with and lounge about in, and they'll have a grand old time. I think that's like the idea. So like, pets are welcome. They can stay in the house, but they'll get to experience like something new and exciting. That'd be good for more curious animals that's just like, ooh, what is this whole place? This is really new. And I got this cool little like lounge area, because some of the houses in the game didn't come with TVs. Some like the jungle destinations don't have TVs, and it's like, I get it because it's a holiday, you're not supposed to watch TV. But TVs are kind of like, TV's like a kind of basic necessity furniture now. Everyone needs to have one. I mean, I have a TV, but I only use it to play games on. I don't actually watch TV on air. That's what I have Netflix for. And I thought I'd put in like a little llama table, have some music as well. And it looks pretty nice. I took out all the lighting so I could start putting in all the proper lights all the cool little candle lights from Jungle Adventure. I like these. I think these are quite cool. And they do add, like, you have to have a lot of them, but they do light up the place quite nicely. And I love these sliding doors from the Caribbean, like, free content update that the devs gave us. I love these sliding doors because sliding doors are perfect for, like, holiday destinations. And I'm kind of hoping we will get, like, an island vacation, like, game pack in the future, so we get, like, this cool island, like, beach huts, coconut trees, and more kind of palm trees. And, like, palm trees with actual coconuts. I kind of want there to be, for the gardening thing, you could grow coconut trees. You buy a coconut, and then you could, like harvest the coconuts and make, like, coconut milk and stuff. And use them in ingredients in cooking. I think that'd be quite fun. I also added a cool little, like, balcony up here, because this is, like, a beautiful place. You'll wake up in the morning, and you'll go onto your balcony, and you'll just feel, like, the warm sun on your face, and it'll feel really good. And then also got this bathroom up here, and I do start having problems with the upstairs because I have a lot of space to use and not much stuff to put in there. So I've got these small little, like, windows up here because you wouldn't want big windows in the bathroom. And then using the Jungle Adventure, like, baths and the shower stuff and the sinks, and I think just a regular toilet as well, because these sort of add to, like, the area. They make the room, and, like, they really bring the room together, which I quite liked. And then you got, like, a basic mirror, and then I couldn't remember where I was going to put the door. I used the movie stuff door because that is small, but it also has that sort of exotic feel to it. So I put that next to the sink, and then there was, like, a bit of hoo-hawing and humming about where I could put everything else, because then I built the bedroom, and I kind of realized that there wasn't a lot for this room to have, and I think that was one of the problems I started having, because I was like, I've got all this extra space, now what do I do? So I was like, do I do this? So I had, like, 4 or 5, like, spaces, and I thought maybe make a second bedroom, and then I was like, nah, that's not gonna work. So I ended up going back and just sort of figuring out what I was gonna do, because I wanted to have, like, 2 bedrooms initially, 2, like, sort of honeymoon bedrooms or a family bedroom, but then I was reminded that this is a honeymoon. This is where you make the kids, you don't bring the kids here. So I needed to sort of reinvent this into being a romantic honeymoon destination. And also I needed a litter box for any potential cats as well. I forgot to put that in, so I ended up putting that in a bit later on in the video. So I was using the Jungle Adventure bed. I love that one. There's some gorgeous, like, sunset color schemes, so I was like, that'd be like the sort of gist of the bedroom, like this nice sunset feel. And also what I did was I broke down the walls. I got rid of the walls so I could furnish around it and then build the walls around it, because I figured that would work a little bit better in the favor, because then I knew what space I needed to make the room. And I thought that would be pretty cool. I got more of these cool Caribbean sliding doors for the balcony, because the balcony is pretty much, like, essential to the honeymoon suite. And I was looking through, like, do I need curtains maybe? And then I found the are those cats and dogs curtains? I think they are. I can't remember. I don't really remember if I used the curtains. I used these because I love these, and I found this cool, like, sunset color scheme. And that was basically the color scheme I was going for in this room. These beautiful oranges and yellows to make it, like, a super romantic, like, room for the honeymooners to live in. I thought that'd be cool. And also have all the little petals, because it's, like, sort of like when, like, the staff who sort of manage, like, the villas come around, and sort of, if they know it's a honeymoon suite, they'll, like, have, like, this little package they can put together where they end up going to sort of put things away, and they end up having, like so they can put the petals down, essentially. If they know there's, like, honeymooners coming, they put, like, petals down for people coming in, so they have so they know it's a honeymoon destination. Also, I love these movie stuff doors. I think they're great. And did want to put more plants down. The plants are good, and the dresses, and these little Selvadoradan lights from Jungle Adventure. I love that. And once again, using all that nice wooden flooring. I thought that was quite cool. And then using that same, like, sort of wallpaper from downstairs, but then using, like, a sunset color upstairs in the bedroom. I thought that was great. And I did want to use this lantern, but there wasn't really anywhere to put it, so I got, like, one of the standing lights instead, which helped sort of light up the area where they get dressed and stuff. And I thought that looks a little bit better. And my phone keeps ringing. and I'm kind of busy, so because I'm doing a commentary. So this is like where the problem started. I ended up trying to build an extra room, realizing that really I don't need like an extra room to fill up the space. I could actually just put a roof here. So I started putting together like a family kids room, and it, like for this place it doesn't work in the end. That's the idea. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because it's supposed to be a, you know, romantic getaway vacation. Kids just kind of ruin the whole like ensemble of, you know, ambience of romantic. So I end up sort of like, I'm like halfway through furnishing this thing when I'm realizing my mistake, and I'm like, you know what, that's going to be a problem. So I do end up having to delete most of it, because I was thinking like, do I put in the kids room maybe? Like kids can just play and stuff and just stay in the room. And then I do end up replacing it all, because I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. So I just end up getting rid of everything and getting rid of the room, because then I realized that I don't need an extra room up here. I can just put a roof in instead. So I end up like sort of making, I got to make a hallway though. So I got to make a kind of like cool little hallway it's got to have something in it. It can't just be empty. So you've got that, and then I just delete this roof, and then I delete this room, delete the roof, and then all I do is just put in another roof here, which looked a bit better, and also a lot, so it works maybe not so much on that area. I think I do have to fix, I do fix that roof as well, but then it looks a bit better. I used just a smaller one there, so now it actually looks like it's a proper little like destination household, and the roof looks a lot better on that place. And then I got to also put the eaves on as well, so the room ends up looking a lot better, because it doesn't need like to have like two bedrooms upstairs. One bedroom is enough, and the roof actually makes it look a bit better, and you can see it looks a lot better with that. And then I do sort of end up fixing the roof here, thanks to the help of my boyfriend, who apparently knows how to deal with roofs in The Sims 4, because I don't. I'm still struggling with roofs. It's like my Achilles heel when it comes to designing sim houses. It's just roofs are the bane of my existence. But it looks a lot better with the roofing it has now. And then of course just got to design the hallway, add some windows, open shutters there, and then just add something on the wall so it doesn't look too empty. And I use the those little these little hangings here, and I think they look a lot better, and it fills it out nicely. And then we got to go and deal with the outside, putting in like vines and stuff, and then dealing with the outside. So you got to do the gardening, because you got to have like this decking outside. I use that really nice sparkly water to make it look artificial, and it's like, this is water that they just make sure that it looks good. It looks good for people when they're coming to visit, because you want this place to look like exemplary, essentially, so you get like a good review on a holiday destination. And of course, using that nice terracotta for around the pool. I did think about using two like squares, but then I decided just the one would work for it instead. The one for it works instead. And then I use this like sort of stone tile on the bottom, which looks much better because the sandstone sort of works with the theme of the honeymoon suite. And then using more of the terrain painting tools to sort of add like, you know, a bit more like sort of dirt to it, so it's got something to resemble a sort of area of just like wildlife foliage that they do tend to, and they do keep, but they make it so it doesn't like grow into the garden, but it's sort of kept at bay essentially. And then using a lot more like grass and wildflowers. Those wildflowers are actually like probably one of the best items from Jungle Adventure. I love using them, and they're really good at like sort of filling out the space. Although you do have like lots of like noticeable like dirt, and then it's just grass everywhere. All the grass, so much wild grass, because this is just like tended to, but they only tend to it so it doesn't like invade the rest of the garden essentially. So there's loads of wild grass, loads of these big trees and plants, and like using another using some creeping vines. It's just creeping over a bit. They do need to be tended to, and these big palm trees. These big palm trees look great, and these banana trees. And it looks super cute as well. And I was really happy with how this turned out in the end, because now we have to decorate it. So we need a jacuzzi, which for some reason we get 2 jacuzzis from the hot tub pack. I think it's called the hot tub stuff pack. I can't remember what it's called. But we only get 2 of them, which is kind of sad. I feel like there could be more. Like They should definitely have made ones that are like built into the ground, but I think they used to be in The Sims 2. And a small little bar. You gotta have the barbecue as well in case you want to do some cooking outside, and some outdoor like seating as well. Because like you can have like friends over and you can like sort of have lots of food and drinks outside and sit outside in the nice like warm evening. And the place looks great. And of course got to add in all the pool accessories, so more like a grate to have water bubbles seeping out of, lots of little lights everywhere so the pool is lit up at night. And I think that was it. I think there was also just some decals on the floor as well to put in. I think that worked quite well. And I don't think I put like a diving thing in because there wasn't really a need for one. But then using these sort of like pool decals on the floor, they worked quite well. It does sort of stick to the corner a little bit, but that was the best I could do. And then of course, got to finish up with the balcony. Got a nice meditation mat and a yoga mat because Lakey's going to want to do some yoga in this place. And it's the Honeymoon Getaway. And it's obviously got to have romantic aura. It's also going to be peace and quiet and sunny. So you just feel so good there. And I really like this. It's on the gallery. It's already got a few downloads on it already. People like it. I'm getting better at downloads. Or I'm getting better at building things and people noticing. So we've got lots of cat and dog stuff as well. I have lots of cat toys and accessories because pets are welcome. You want to have something for the pets as well so they can play with like items and stuff for them to play with. And I thought this is a great little like area, and you can now see sort of how it all comes together. And I think that's like a really good sort of look for it. So here we have the Honeymoon Getaway in Selvadoradan. There's like a whole bunch of pictures. You can have a look at it, and you know, if you enjoy this, you can find it on the gallery. It's called the Honeymoon Getaway. It's on my gallery, Origin IT is Ripley Gamer. And if you really liked this and you want to see me do more builds like this, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye now.